So in connection to my traumatic experience along with these others, there was no choice that I had. You know, I just got beat. But what could really shift this and really give a different outcome is to really allow people to understand that they can have a choice to change.
You don't even understand the consequences of your mind, right? Like I don't either. But I know that in itself is saying like, damn, our minds are more amazing than we're able to conceptualize. Quantum physics allowed me to like accept my mind. Like that was like, it made me make sense of all the crazy crap that like what I thought was crazy going on in my mind. Think about our brains, right? No one completely understands the brain. No one does. No one does. No scientist understands it, right? No, like, if you do, please come meet me. Because you're lying. All these superheroes that we actually look at were those like very similar people that had hard upbringings, whatever, and they got this superpower. Hey, what's going on, brother?
Christian.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. And so at 25, I just recently learned how to forgive myself.
Yeah.
That was like my biggest spiritual awakening was forgiveness.
When I was learning linear algebra, connecting the shit that, like, the things I think about to all that stuff, man, that's when my mind was like blowing up, man. But,
yeah, we'll totally talk about that because I think your side was like super mathematics and everything like that, and that was the grind. And for me, like my biggest thing is like philosophy.
Yeah.
Philosophers.
Yeah.
That's why when you talked about Einstein, I was like, I lit up, dude. I lit up because Einstein was a big, he loved Spinoza, and I love Spinoza's writing. Like, I had to learn all about him, and I was really interested in him.
Dope.
So it's really interesting that you talked about Einstein because, like, I love Einstein.
He's amazing.
This for me is what I want to live for because it heals me. It heals my soul, right?
Yeah.
Like, I want to be able to stand for people because that's all I've been doing, you know? So I'll definitely share my story and I'll share where I'm at, and then I know that we'll connect the dots. I know,
okay.
but I'm gonna get into it. But I'm gonna get into it.
There's a book. It's pretty short. It's Letters to a Young Poet. And I don't care if you just read the first chapter, dog. Like one, you'll realize why I'm asking you to read it.
Okay.
So
how about I'll make it. I will read it,
like,
and we'll talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty deep, man. It's a deep one though. So
Can you throw your number in?
yeah. Seriously, I'm excited to keep on talking.
Yeah, me too.
Picks me up and literally just tosses me across the room. And I remember like I hit the wall and I fall on the bed. And I was crying, I was freaking out, really scared, I was shaking. And then from there he was like, stay in the fucking room, and he slams the door. He grabs his belt, and he didn't even realize what side he was hitting me with. He was hitting me with the buckle part. And so I was purple, like all on my thighs. My ribs were super purple, but my arms weren't. So I put on clothes and you're good to go. That was the beginning of like when the beatings got bad. What happened the time after that is that he did pretty much the same thing, but he hit my arms. And we had I remember like trying to sit down in class and I couldn't. I started crying because I couldn't sit down. And Mr. Grimm, my teacher, he goes, how come you can't sit down? And I was like, oh, no, I had a biking accident. I can't sit down. And he goes, Christian, it's like 90 something degrees. Why are you wearing a long sleeve sweater? He's like, can you roll up your sleeves for me? And I was like, no, I can't do that, And he's like, Christian, go ahead and roll up your sleeves for me. And so I roll up my sleeves and I'm just all purple. And then I remember he showed me how to use a gun. He had a 9mm Ruger, and I remember I was just like, I'm just gonna end my life. Like that's just how this one's gonna go. And so I went to the top of the wardrobe. That's where he kept the gun. Grabbed it, And I remember looking in the mirror like, am I really gonna do this? And I just couldn't do it. And so I just started freaking out, crying. And that's when I picked up the phone and called my mom and told her the whole situation.
I want to say I commend you even though you may not acknowledge enough for yourself. I commend you for being where you're at, even mentally. You know, like going through any level of trauma, right? Especially physically, being physically abused is something that is sad, really sad, and hits me really hard. You know, to watch anyone go through stuff like that. So I commend you. You telling a story that you were able, even though you felt that you couldn't put that gun down, but the point that you did.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not think that some kid like is gonna listen to that and gonna put their gun and not like know that they can put that gun down too? You don't think about that, man? Like those are the small subtleties that like hit me, that I was like, damn, like someone else is gonna be able to listen to that, you know?
And that's why, and I commend you too, brother, and I really appreciate that you say that, because the thing for me is when I heard your story, I remember I was sitting right there, and I just started crying, and my mom goes, and I paused it, and I was like, I can't watch the rest of this, like I just can't. And she was like, but you have to, because you're gonna talk to him later today, and I was just like, holy shit. And I was like, this is rough. This is so rough. So really, for me, it's I commend you as well. And I respect the fact that you can be able to tell your story, and you know, you don't even use it as a badge, but as a tool to be able to like help others, you know, because right, like it's not like I went through this, you don't know nothing, and right, like wear it like a badge. It's like you really genuinely want to help, and I get that.
When I was a kid, I used to pray in church to stop getting beat by my father. Then recently, I was in San Francisco. I walked into a church, got on my knees, and I thanked God for my life.